James Martio here. Welcome to the Sophomore Drome. As they say, 2 albums go in, 1 will only come out. And who will it be today? And today we're going ska. And we've got two of probably the best ska bands in the UK at the time, being Madness and Bad Manners. So how we work this one out is whoever released first goes first. And in this case, it was Madness. Now, Madness, great band, formed in Camden in 1976. One of the most successful bands in the charts. Their most successful period, of course, was from 1980 to 86, where the band spent a total of 214 weeks on the UK singles charts. A lot of top 10s and some number 1s. But their second album was released on the 26th of September 1980, and it's called Absolutely. And on here, of course, it's Suggs on lead vocals and percussion, Mike Barneson on piano, organ and vibraphone, marimba and harmonica, Chris Foreman on the guitar, sitar and slide guitar, Lee Thompson on the saxophones, of course, Daniel Woodgate is on the drums, the brilliant Mark Bedford on the bass guitar, and backing vocals, trumpet, and doing lead vocals on Solid Gone is the one and only Mr. Chaz Smash. So side 1 opens up with a classic, Baggy Trousers. One of my favourite Madness songs. It's just so much fun. I love this track. I don't think everybody loves a bit of Baggy Trousers. And then we go into another great single, Embarrassment. I love the tempo of this, and I love Mark Bedford's bass line on it. And you get terrific saxophones from Mr. Lee Thompson. Absolutely brilliant track. Then we have a little track called Ernie. And it's Ernie with it's spelt with just the letters, and it's a lovely sort of playoff between Lee Thompson and Mike Barson on the piano. It's really good. It's one of these deep cut tracks, and it reminds you of, you know, it feels like they're playing in a London pub. It's got that feel to it. It's an excellent track. Close Escape. Now I've always thought Mark Bedford is one of the most underrated bass players. His grooves are good, and it's so good on Close Escape. And then you got Mike doing his piano in between. Brilliant track. Then we've got Not Home Today, another deep cut track from this album. The drumming from Daniel is super on this. And you've got another really good saxophone work from Lee Thompson. Super track. Then we have a track called On the Beat Pete. Suggs' vocal is super on this. And you've got Daniel's great drumming. It's a really good track. Then we get Solid Gone, sung by Chaz. It's a great piano boogie-woogie track. Absolutely brilliant again, and I love the bass line from Mark Bedford on that track. So that's side 1 dealt with. Side 2 has got a typical Madness sort of track called Take It or Leave It. It's all about real life. Some fine piano playing from Mike. Suggs is on fire. Great track. Shadow of Fear. Outstanding drumming from Daniel again, and Mark on the bass. It's just another great track. Disappear. Again, wonderful bass and keyboards on here. The saxophone is good. Some nice little bits of guitar on it as well. Then we get Overdone. It's just got a great groove to it. Love that track. Bass line from Mark Bedford. Top drawer. In the Rain, a very, very catchy tune this is, like most of them. And it was a single, but it didn't do as well as the others, but it's still a very, very good track. You Said, fantastic vocal from Suggs. It's a typical Madness groove to it. And then we have the instrumental, The Return of the Lost Palmer 7. I love this. I think it's a brilliant track. It's got some lovely vibraphone on it, and the saxophone from Lee is always superb. It's a great track to end this album. It's one of the best albums of 1980, sorry, in my belt. 4 singles on it, some very good deep tracks, and I like this album a lot. I do like playing this. But that's enough of what I think of it. What did the critiques say about it? Now, the album actually received mixed reviews at the time of release. Billboard recommended absolutely to consumers nothing that it was less gimmicky and more R&B funk orientated than Madness' debut One Step Beyond, while still retaining enough of the band's nutty sound to appeal to fans of their debut. Real Marcus, however, likened Madness to the Blues Brothers with English accents in a scathing review for Rolling Stone. Well, what does he know about Madness? Rolling Stone took it an aim at fellow ska, the Specials, about it in respect of the same. So there you go. In a retrospective view, AllMusic Stephen Thomas Erlewine wrote, absolutely does not motorhead and break ska rhythms, but it never quite feels as raw as its predecessor, and that a hint of gloss serves with 3 big hit singles. And so bit of a mixed thing. So AllMusic gave it 3.5 stars. Chris Gale's record guy gave it a B-. Now that's someone that doesn't know nothing about ska. Record Mirror gave it 4. Rolling Stone gave it 1. But once again, they know now. You know, this is American. They haven't got a clue what ska's about. And the Rolling Stone album guy, though, gave it a 3. Chart performance. Now, this is the most important bit. It got to number 2 in Holland, number 2 here, and only made 146 in America. But they just didn't get ska, did they? And everywhere else it was a top 30, top 40 album as well. So it did very well, and it got platinum here in the UK. Yes, of course it did. So let's have a look at the nuts and bolts of this one. Song quality. It's got 4 singles on here. That 3 were very big. 1 wasn't so big, but it's still a nice song. The deep cut tracks are fantastic. So it's a 5 out of 5 on this one. Production, wonderfully produced, crisp sounding songs. Everything's clear, great vocal mix. So I'm going to give that a 5 as well. Reception, regardless of what some of the critics thought, the fans loved it. You know, especially here in the UK and in Holland, and to get top 40 in Europe in the album charts was pretty impressive as well. The Americans just didn't take to it. They couldn't cope with it. They didn't know. And of course it went platinum. So that is a 5 out of 5. Cover design. I love this cover. Now, I'm not the expert on this cover. My good friend Nick knows more about this cover. But I love this cover. It's outside Chalk Farm Station. 7 of them there. It's all to do with the umbrella and the mood of the faces. But I love this cover. It's a very iconic cover, so I'm going to give that 5 as well. So it's full house today. 20 out of 20. Going to be tough to beat this one. The best Bad Manners can do is draw. So we'll move on to Bad Manners. Now they're a two-tone ska band, fronted of course by Buster Bloodvessel, or his real name is Douglas Stephen Trendle. Buster Bloodvessel sounds much better. Again, they were very popular in the early 80s with Madness and the Specials. And Bad Manners spent 111 weeks in the charts. And their second album is Looney Tunes. And this came out roughly the same time as Absolutely. And playing on here, you've got Buster Bloodvessel on vocals, Louis Alfonso Cook on guitar, Darren Farron on the bass, Martin Stewart on keyboards, Chris Kane on saxophone, Andrew Marston on saxophone, Paul Hyman on the trumpet, Winston Bamboozes on the harmonica. First track on this one is called Echo 4-2. My favourite track on this album. I love the drums. It could have come out of a 1960s spy caper theme. It's just a brilliant track. I've always liked this, and it's written by Laurie Johnson, so it has got that straight out of a 60s feel. Brilliant track. Then we get Just a Feeling, a great classic track, one of their big hits. I love Buster's singing on that, absolutely brilliant. El Pussycat, the saxophones are brilliant on here from both Andrew and Chris. The bass line from Darren Farron is as groovy as well. It's one of my favourites on this album. Doris, okay, it's not the best track on the album. It's probably one of the weakest tracks. I'm not a big fan of this song. Spy Eye is quite fun in places. Got some nice. It's got a nice. I like the beat that the tempo that Bad Manners did it. It's got that. You can't stop help doing this. Then they do another cover of Tequila, which is a brilliant version of it. Lorraine comes next. It's a little bit non-politically correct these days, but it was a great song at the time and everybody liked that one. Then we've got Echo Gone Wrong. I love the guitar in this. It's got that very reggae beat. It's a great little track. Suicide is another good track. I love the saxophone playing on this as well. It's a very, very good track. And then we have my favourite title on here, The Undersea Adventures of Ivor the Engine. Now, for Americans, Ivor the Engine was a little kiddies thing, 5-minute thing at the end of children's programming. It's got nothing to do, but it's got a reggae feel to it, a nice reggae ska feel to it. It's a fun little track. Back in 1960, it's a mixture of ska and rock and roll, and it's fantastic. Another great track. Just Pretending. The production on it lets it down a little bit. It feels like it's being played through filters and all sorts, which is a shame. But there we go. Okay, this was another Sterling album from 1980. It's got some really good covers on here. I don't think the production is as good as the Madness album, but it's got a really good thing. Not much was written about this. In fact, nothing was written about it, and the only review we got was from AllMusic, and they gave it 3 stars, and it did reach number 36 on the album chart. So let's have a look at the nuts and bolts of this one. Song quality, great songs again, some great covers. Really like the songs on here. They're fun, and if you've grown up in the 1980s, you would have really understood what they were getting at. So I'm going to give that another 5 out of 5. Production. Some of the production work is a little bit strange in places, like I'm just pretending it. I don't know what they were thinking, so I'm going to give that a 4 out of 5. Reception. There's not much written about it, and number 36 on the charts. I mean, I like it, so I'm going to give that a 3 out of 5. Cover design. I love this cover. Looney Tune. I don't know. It's you know, a little dog with a bow in its hair. It's quite a fun cover. So I'm going to give that a 5 out of 5. So for Looney Tunes, My Bad Manners gives us a total of 17 out of 20. Points wise, it's a win for Bad Manners, of course. I mean, Madness, of course. It was not going to be beaten, I don't think. And given my personal view, I like both albums, but for me, absolutely, it's just a quality album from top to finish. So today's winner for me is going to be absolutely My Madness. Okay, how do you vote? Well, of course, if you go to the posts, the old community page on the channel, the poll will be there now. You've got until next week to vote, so don't have to go and do it today. And also we'll be carrying a poll in the live stream tonight. So that's all for this one. I'll be back very shortly, and we got Pick and Mix, and it's a trip down memory lane. And we're going back to 1994 this week, and we're going to look at the top 10 singles on the 15th of May 1994. So join for that. Bye for now.